Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2018 Career Mode, episode number 78. We're in Canada for the National Individual Time Trial. I brought DeVos, even though he is pretty poor in the time trial, but A, he's on a fitness peak, so he's a lot better today with a 70 overall. Much better than I expected. But also, more importantly, as a trial run, because Cohen is one of only 3 riders in all of Canada, or at least that are here today. You could assume that's all, unless somebody's out injured. But one of only 3 riders that has an actual 70 base or above in the time trial. And at a 73, he is dual favorite. So we'll see if we can get Cohen a win today. DeVos comes in with a +5 race day condition. He is feeling very good as we head into this time trial. Very simple course. Out, back, out again, back again, and the finish line is right over just near the start line. Of course, we've been on before for other time trials. The U.S. National Time Trial included in that. This is being borrowed. It's Wilkesboro. We're not in Canada. But, yeah, for argument's sake, we're in Canada. DeVos, meanwhile, second place at the first checkpoint. And there's more than 20 riders that have hit that second checkpoint. Now, he's got to go one full lap around to get back to where he is. And you can see he's a little bit tired. So I think we've overdone it just slightly, but we are catching 4 riders. Yeah, we're about to catch 4 riders. Cohen, meanwhile, ready to get started. It's a 72 time trial, not a 73. His base of 72 is equal on best, and he's a 74 today. So it looks like a 75 might be the way to go, as DeVos is a little bit tired. So Cohen, right out the box, is passing this guy up. Of course, they are on different laps. He's not already catching the rider in front of him. That's this guy up there, Jameson. Was that DeVos who just went by the other way? Well, it most definitely is. DeVos riding the other way. He has passed 1 of 4 already. He's now got 3 in front of him. Or has he passed more than those 4? Hard to say. But DeVos will turn around. There's that start line just to the right. There is the finish. DeVos loops around. Oh, I wish they could fix the animations on these hairpin turns. So slow around there. The way they do it. It would be lovely if in PCM 20 they fix that, because in PCM 19 it is still exactly the same. So DeVos, I think it's going a little bit better. Like, he's not losing energy right now. And Cohen, meanwhile, looking to have slightly, ever so slightly above. So a little bit of energy to spare. DeVos has slipped to 3rd. McKinnon, Cataford, and as we come around this corner, cross the line right here, Cohen will go 2nd. 8 seconds down. Alright, we turn our attention now to the 2nd check, and in terms of number, what is your number? 11 and 12, so they are carrying numbers. So by team, there was only 1 rider behind DeVos. So going back, Roberge, the other guy who is the favorite, that's the 72 besides Cohen, is ahead, 16 seconds. But here we go. DeVos is going to come around this corner, lapping the last guy that was ahead of him. Oh, not quite. A little slow on the exit. Again with 2nd at this point, 5th. The final through the first checkpoint. So this time DeVos is going to come straight back down towards that start line and then turn to the right and finish. Cohen only a +1, sadly, so I would have rather had these guys reversed instead of two strong top 10s. I'd much rather have the win. But here's Cohen about to lap Baudouin. And we're also about to finish our first complete lap. Of course, not a checkpoint here, but this is the halfway stage as Cohen turns around to head back. And let's see, is that... Yeah, rope bridge right there. Gap holding fairly steady, but I don't know. Maybe that guy's going to be a little ahead. DeVos a little behind on energy. This is not good. I think he's going to fade here at the end. So we're going to slow him down. Here comes Cohen. There's DeVos. Cohen's still doing well. He is hanging in there. DeVos, though, nearly to the end. This is the last little uphill, and he just ran out of energy. He's going to fade. He is going to fade. So we're going to go full 99s to the end. He is fading. He has run out of energy before the end. You can see from Else as a comparison that he is losing some ground. So DeVos, not where we want him. DeVos still second quickest, though, at the second check. And still second quickest at the finish line. But he's definitely losing a little bit of time in there. Let's get back with Cohen. It's McKinnon in the lead. Solid gap there. I mean, those gaps are pretty large. But here, gaps are getting much smaller. For reference, back here again, you have 8 riders within 35 seconds. We'll see how it is at the second checkpoint as Cohen is just about to roll through. He's got the best intermediate time. And he's into the lead here. But of course, we still have Roberge behind us. So McKinnon was the one ahead of us. And Roberge still top. 22 seconds. So we've dropped 6 seconds behind Roberge. So Roberge looks like he's really on form. And this could be bad. But Cohen getting ready to lap Jameson, and Jameson, right, third guy out on the road, should be a favorite and is 8th best, and yet we're about to pass him up. Meaning we've almost put 2 full minutes into Jameson now. So Roberge, then Cohen, McKinnon were just 1 second clear, and DeVos has scooted up from 5th to 4th after that second checkpoint. Now at the finish line, McKinnon, Cataford. Let's see, Cataford, Clark. Are they already in? Clark is. Cataford is not. We're still waiting on Cataford to get there to see if Cataford ahead of DeVos. So DeVos looks like 5th place is the most likely here for him. Cohen, meanwhile, though, is low on energy, but he does make it over that last little climb. Coming up on the finish line, still has energy. You'll see the heart rate drop when it actually fades. And, oh, it rounds just at the finish line. Okay, he's way ahead of McKinnon. Way ahead of McKinnon. Roberge hasn't come in yet. It's the next rider. Here's Roberge. Yes! Cohen steals it from Roberge by 5 seconds. That was all about energy management. Cohen literally ran out with 5 meters to go. Heart rate increased when we attacked the finish. Heart rate decreased 5 meters from the crossing the finish line. Meaning we used 100% on 99.99% of the course finished, and then just coasted 5 meters. So he gave everything out there, and it was just enough to steal it from Adam Roberge. Roberge was really, really on form. He did a great job. He actually is a 73 time trial base, so he is one better than Cohen. How old is he? 24. Those two are they're both 24. Those two are gonna battle it out for seasons to come. Voss, though, fantastic job by him to get 5th, despite only being a 65 time trialist. Of course, it's Canada. They're not as strong in the time trial, so competition-wise, there's a chance. But sponsor confidence at the moment skyrocketing with a national champion. We've got a lot of others still to go. There's France, Italy, Holland, Spain, the US, at least, maybe more. I've already gone past Belgium. We will definitely not do all of these races, but this episode will be focused on first the individual time trials, and then if we get that far, and I'm assuming we will, onto the road race. We ride with Nicola Conci now for the Italian time trial. Conci, 72 base, 0 race day condition, so not looking for fireworks on this one. But, though we're not in the top 10 favorites, I think if we play this right, we might just squeeze out a top 10. So it is possible that we could get into the top 10. Now let's see who that is. New leader is Damiano Caruso. We've seen the time come down just a little bit here in the last short period of time. So better riders are definitely making their way through right now. Conti looking like this might not be the long-term solution. I'm going to back off to a 74. We've been on a slight downhill this whole time, and yet Conchi's energy consumption has been right about level with distance. And once we get just a little bit past the end of the first sector, it's going to flatten out, and then it's going to go slightly back uphill towards the finish. That to me means we need a little bit more energy for Sector 3 than we're going to need, especially through Sector 1. So far, Conchi, 10th place. 10th place, and there are 4 riders after us. So in terms of timing, we're very much near the end, but the other riders should be a lot stronger than we are, so I would imagine we're going to slide back. So right now, I'd say we're probably on rate for about 15th. But we do have some energy to burn at this point. Gianni Mascan, Armelini take over the top 2 spots. Affini goes top. We've now leveled off. We're going to be coming back up the other way. Filippo Ganna goes 15 seconds clear. He could very well be the favorite. And we're going to step things back up to a 75 again. And I think Ganna was the last one. So that puts us 14th, so one of them was behind us. Yeah, nobody else is coming through. So 14th. 14th quickest. We'll see if we can improve upon that again. My hope is to squeeze into the top 10. Don't expect anything more than that. Don't necessarily expect that either. But we're going to see if we can pull off a top 10. So as we go through, we moved up 1 spot from where we were. We were 15th. We were 10th initially and slipped to 14th. We were 9th this time. So we have moved up 1 spot, but we're going to need a few more than that. Times 2 here, and this 75 does seem to be wearing away just a little bit, so I think we're good with this 75 towards the end. Okay, so Filippo Ganna again goes top, but we are 13th now, so we did move up a single spot. At the end, Caruso's time just beaten, and we are coming up on the finish line here. Just about ready to attack it. Coming around final quarter. 99. Oh, energy runs out just before the finish. But again, it was only about 8 meters away. So we're up to 5th. Up to 5th now. That is a huge improvement. And that will be a top 10 finish. It's going to slip. It's going to slip. It's already outside of the top 5. But it is going to be a top 10. We did make our way forward. So good job, Conchi. I think we have pulled it off. Look at that. He went from a minute 50, well, 35, minute 53, and then the 22. But that's going to come down as Filippo Ganna is well ahead. Let's see if we can pull back some time on him. Affini goes top for now. There's Filippo Ganna. Minute 16 over second place. But in the end, 9th place. And just 2 seconds away from Corvino in 8th. That is a good ride by Nicola Conchi, especially when we were 14th and then 13th, and then we continued that trend in the right direction and get 9th. I'll take it.
Hello to one and all. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat. Riding in such heat is not easy. Many riders must have only one thing on their mind: getting this over with.
We're on to the road races, and we start with Canada, our sponsor's home. I have 3 Canadian riders. I have brought all 3 this time. DeVos and Cohen, both with positive race day conditions, thanks to the fitness peaks. Staples is not. This is classified as a sprint. Looking at the profile, there's a little hill, but it's a little hill. Not much to it. Let's see right now. Profile, it does get to 4%, 4.1%. But we're going to hit it. And we're going to hit it again. And then we're going to hit it again. And then there's a little over 3.0 right there before you get to the top. So you got a little 4-degree section, a little 3-degree section that does get into using the mountain and hill rating. So there's something to it. We've only got 2 riders in the break. They have 1 minute. There's only 34 riders in the peloton. Here's the main thing about this that gives us a chance, even though we only have 3 riders. The amount of riders that teams have brought is minimal across the board. And no top teams have more than 1 or 2 riders. So for that, we actually do have some sort of chance with this race. But my guys aren't sprinters. So how do we pull it off? Well, it's going to take a little luck. It's going to take a little finesse. We're going to have to do something to pull that together. But looking at these guys, Staples is weak, period. DeVos can go up and over these hills pretty well. And then he's a 63 sprint, but he's got a little acceleration. Cohen slightly better on his sprint. Acceleration similar, but not as good on the hills. So what I'm going to do is DeVos can get up and over these hills again and again, no problem. I'm going to use Staples to protect Cohen and then hope that DeVos and Cohen are still fresh at the end, the pair. And then if Staples has something left, Staples is going to be definitely the workhorse for this group. If we have something left at the end, Staples give a little lead out. And then between Cohen and DeVos, depending on how they're feeling, we'll decide who to go with late on. But maybe this peloton will not have 36 riders going for the overall at the end. It's a long stage, so stamina is going to be a factor. Staples has good stamina. DeVos, how we look at DeVos today anyway, has a 70. Cohen a 66. So yes, Cohen, the one that is going to need some protection to get to the end. DeVos is looking more likely the guy that we push for late. And with a small group like this, without leadouts and without proper sprinters, there are sprinters here, and that's why we're nowhere near. I have no guys on the top 10 favorites list out of 36 riders only. But that's because they're purely treating it as a sprint. You could already see. Look at Staples and DeVos and Cohen. All of them are struggling a little bit as a new rider. Oh, hello, Staples. M. Staples. Are you brothers? Might be brothers. Very well could be brothers. Anyway, we are already suffering some fatigue as one rider goes off the front trying to join the breakaway. We've actually already lost a rider out the back. His day is clearly done, and we caught the guy who tried to get away. Gap is down to 3 minutes. This relentless uphill, downhill, I think is going to be damning enough that a lot of the sprinters are going to be long gone, and we're actually going to have a very small group. And if DeVos and Cohen, if the two of them are there, waiting just a little bit longer, trying to get this down to just 2 times on the water. There we go, Staples, go ahead. 137 now. My window is 120, so we're a little behind where I would like to be on that. We got it at 134, so 14K over that mark. If we can at least shave 7 off next time, we'll make it to the end. Anyway, if I could have a small group, 10 riders or less, maybe even just 15 riders or less, who's the likely first victims? Probably sprinters, right? In these scenarios, they're usually the first to go out the back. So if we can thin this field by at least half, and I have at least those 2 riders, yeah, we'll have a chance. Top 10. If we can get it down to 10 or less riders, and I've got 2 of them, then I like my chances even better. Obviously, top 10 would be a given at that point, but top 5, podium, steal the win. Regardless, if we win, it's a massive steal. There's nothing given about this. Of course, I've grown used to playing the 2019 edition, and playing that on a harder level, so it pushes you even further to be more exact on your timings, where here, on normal difficulty, it's a little easier. And a little easier means maybe that is that slight edge that we need. Now the water's almost out. We're still 90K to go, so I have a feeling I will need to get water in additional time here. I don't think these guys are going to make it under that 60 mark. So let's just go ahead and grab water now. It's a small peloton. Does not take Staples long. You can see that there's 2 teams, and they're little continental teams that have a bunch of riders, and they're Canadian based. So outside of those 2 little continental teams that don't have any strong riders, we're looking good. We're looking strong. Now, with 80K to go, the stamina already starting to be a factor. You can see all 3 guys are hurting a little bit. And those 2 riders out front, they've been out front a long... Oh, it's Roberge. Roberge! What are you doing in the break? Alright. That's the guy who we beat with Cohen by 5 seconds just a few days ago in the time trial. I'm loving that this team are burning 3 guys, 4 guys in the chase. That's amazing. We have not lost anyone out the back. The gap is up to 5 minutes, though. We're going to have to start pulling them back pretty soon. Now, here's the thing, though. Those 2 riders have been alone for 100-something, almost 200K. So they should be cracking pretty soon, and we're going to pull back a ton of time. But pretty soon, and have already done so, are 2 very different things. And 5 minutes is a huge gap with 50K to go. But look at that. We pulled back 30 seconds in the blink of an eye. And with 45K to go, there's a lot of fatigue here, and it's right back to 5 minutes. So you guys are going to have to start chasing a lot harder here. And I need to prepare myself to burn through and do what I can. We might be racing for 3rd place because I'm not necessarily willing to give the chase. I mean, you look at the riders; they're chasing hard. I have no idea how those two are keeping up whatever pace it is that they're keeping up. I mean, we're going 40k per hour. 45. It's a lot of fluctuation in the speed here. But Breakaway is going to win it. We've pulled back 10 seconds in the last 23k.
There's less than 20 kilometers left to ride, and the gap is still more than 2 minutes. It's going to be a question of sheer willpower.
Oh, now it's starting to crumble, though. We just pulled back a minute in 2k. We pulled back a minute in 2k. So there might still be a chance because it's still coming down. 20 seconds back. Another 30 seconds back in another 3.5k. And we're losing riders out the back. So we are on the attack. That gap is coming down awfully quick. Minute and a half in the last 9k.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
All right. We're going to need a plan. And I think Davos is who we ride for. Or do we want to make it Cohen? Cohen already won the time trial. Staples, we're going to use your gel now. And we're coming up on our uphill section here just a little bit. I'm going to wait. But then we're going to start a little attack here. It's 10k to go. There's the banner. 3.5 minutes. We're starting to get caught out here. Come on. Nope, not 99 yet. Not 99. Okay, here's the uphill. There's the acceleration. Staples. Oh, come on, DeVos. I'm writing for you, and you're not writing for you.
Into the last 5 kilometers.
Pulled back 20 seconds. Staples, red bar gone. He's still got some yellow though. 5k to go. I think I need to be riding for third place now. We pulled back 30 seconds, but no way 3 minutes. No way we're pulling him back.
Attack with the finishing line within reach. And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first of the line?
3k to go. Cohen trying to lead out DeVos now. We're riding for third.
Fabulous.
Roberge takes the win over Gautier. Okay, Cohen, sprint. And DeVos. Oh, come on, DeVos. I told you to sprint. He didn't even leave Cohen's wheel. Cohen takes 5th, though. So, I'll take it. DeVos gets 10th with... I was riding for you, buddy. He didn't even leave the wheel. Of course, he got boxed in real quick. But he had a chance. There was still a window between Cohen and the riders on the right-hand side. There was space for DeVos to go in it. He chose not to. And then a moment later, he was completely boxed in. But 5th place. 5th place is solid. Considering I was going, we have no chance at even a top 10 because, well, you know, we're not sprinters. And then 2 riders go and take the victory from the break, breaking everyone's hearts. They win by 2.5 minutes. Considering how long they sat at a 5-minute lead, and we couldn't pull it back, which is freaking crazy. I mean, look at Roberge, the winner. Time trial. Yes. Flat. And nothing else. And we couldn't chase that down? The guys that were at the front chasing, they must be all in their 50s rating-wise, because that was a pitiful chase. I mean, Cohen and Staples gave chase for, 12K. 2 riders gave chase for 12K. One of them hung on for 5th place. And they pulled back 2.5. No. They pulled back a minute and a half. Because everybody else pulled back 1 minute over the previous 40K. On to the French National Road Race. Of course, I only have one French rider on the team, and that's Gouillard. Technically, this is a sprint race. Being such, Gouillard could be one of the favorites. However, look at the profile, and as we go through, you can see it. It's not massive. It's not major. There are little hills. Small hills. Subtle hills. Up, down, up, down. Also, it's ridiculously long. We still have over 100K left, and I'm well past halfway. So, stamina, big factor today. Resistance, big factor today. And not hills rating, because outside of the last couple, we're not pushing, we're not pushing above an 85. So, mountain rating comes into play subtly here and there. We get just over 3% there. We get just over 4% there. It was almost 5% there for a moment. You do go under 5. There's one little section there where it gets over 11%. So there's definite undulation, meaning it is a factor, and Gouillard doesn't have any of those things. He's just got the sprint. So even though it's ultimately a sprint stage, and we've only lost one rider out the back, and a couple to a crash that are out completely. Ooh, big crash there. Massive split. Look at that. I saw Alfredo's name pop up. I didn't see who any of the others were, but at the moment, Peloton at 70, Breakaway at 4, and just over a minute on their lead. And we're starting to get closer to the end. 40K to go. And now you can see Gouillard. He's hanging in there. Nobody to protect him, though. So, sudden accelerations like we have right now is bad for Gouillard's health. More importantly, his resistance bar. Peloton just split, though, 25 now in that lead group. If it comes down to a sprint and he's there and he's got energy, well, there's no lead out, but Gouillard could take the win. He has certainly got the raw pace to do so. But we're pushing 90 now, and with these uphills, it's really going to do some damage. So Gouillard is not even in the top 10 favorites. But if he can hang in, he might be able to do something. Now, front and back, we come back together. We pull in the breakaway. The trail group had caught us, but you can see they're splitting off again. We're at 23 at the moment. And we're down to 22 kilometers. AG2R, plenty of riders still around. FDJ, plenty of riders still around, so they are going to be the favorites. Cofidis here, plenty of riders. So again, we are facing an uphill battle on this race, and Gouillard is starting to fade. Here's the hill. This is where we're likely going to be toasted. There's that 9% gradient. And we see Turgis accelerating. I'm not the one to chase him down at all. We'll see if others can. AG2R on it, or is that Groupama FDJ? Hard to see. But we do make it over the top there. It's not the only hill, though. There's still more coming. This one, very steep, back above 10% again. Under 10K to go. But that's the last great hill. And while Gouillard has slipped backwards a little bit, he's still in it. But we're seeing a big acceleration from some of these guys. 8.6K. 4 riders now off the front. One last hill, but it's not as steep. 4 riders. Gouillard, Rudy Millard, Petit, Turgis. And now 2 have slipped off the front instead of chasing them back. Sapin, Legac. And there we go. That was the last little hill. We've made it. We are in this thing. Group of 24, but there are 6 ahead of us. 4K to go for Gouillard. Can he get a top 10? Can we do more? Can those 6 be caught? 3K to go. Gouillard's starting to get up into a strong position. Confidence trying to do a lead out. Is that for Buoni? Is Buoni still here? Is he still with them? We caught 2 of them. And here we go. Here we go. We're down to it. Those guys are going to get caught. They are going to get caught. Now, Gouillard. Gouillard, go, go, go. Sprint, 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 sprint. Come on. Christophe Laporte. Millard hangs on. Turgis, Pettit. They get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Demar. Cockard. Gouillard into the top 10. Okay. Okay. Brian Alaphilippe, Brian Cockard, and Fabrice Gouillard are 8, 9, and 10. That's your first real sprinters other than Laporte, who pulled off an outstanding victory. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. There are still some more national championships to run, a couple of road races. We'll get 1 or 2 of those into the beginning of the next episode. But that's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.